Hello students, today we are going to see guidance in the classroom. Let's have an introduction. Guidance in the classroom is inseparable from teaching at its best. Good teachers have always carried on many activities described as guidance. They've used the curriculum, methods of instructions or learning and discipline as instruments of child development. After going through the topics of understanding guidance and understanding counseling respectively, you would have understood the concepts of guidance and counseling as well as their implications in educational and vocational fields. In this unit, let's understand about use of guidance in the classroom in terms of its relevance to the subjects taught, how they are taught and how to manage the class. Let us also see how the needs of pupils can be met by guidance through curriculum, how the discipline can be improved and how a guidance-minded teacher can help the students in learning in a better way. Guidance and curriculum. It has been emphasized again and again that guidance services are an integral part of school. Unfortunately, few schools have utilized the guidance program in curriculum matters. Traditionally, the emphasis in guidance work has been upon adjustment of the individual. In schools, the aim has been to help students make the best choice of subjects from the existing curriculum. Therefore, this unit is devoted to the possibilities of using the knowledge and training of guidance personnel and the results of their efforts in another direction towards making and improving the curriculum itself. Now, let's see the concept of curriculum. From an educational point of view, the curriculum is nothing less than the sum total of all student experiences, formal or informal, which takes place both within and without the classroom walls. From a guidance standpoint, the curriculum is viewed as the planned learning experiences provided by the school. Certainly, it must be recognized that students learn from all their experiences and not just from those in the classroom. For example, extracurricular activities provide learning experiences different from those available in regular classes of the school. Meeting individuals' needs. The curriculum of the school must meet the needs of the students. In a sense, they set the boundaries of school activities. This is an important contribution because in every community, the services from which students could benefit are of such a wide variety that it's impossible for the school to provide all of them. Thus, the school must select those for which it takes the primary responsibility to provide. Therefore, a curriculum must provide certain opportunities for the students for discovering a place in life and clarifying a philosophy of living, establishing satisfying peer relations, achieving independence from family, adjusting to physical growth and changes. Now, let's see the criteria for a relevant and meaningful curriculum. In order to meet the above said needs of the students, the instructional program of the school should be geared to the needs of the youth, meet the recurring demands of our social order, develop in harmony with the learning process. Now, let's see these one by one. Needs of youth. This first criterion is concerned with students' common, general needs and special individual needs. Common needs. All students have certain basic needs in common. They will all become citizens. Nearly all of them will marry and raise families. They'll earn a living. They must all meet and try to get along with other people. They'll all have the responsibility of voting, etc. Now, what are special needs? Besides these general needs, there are particular or individual needs and interests. Example, some students will like to further their studies by going to college. Some will like to join certain vocational courses. Some of them would join their father's business. There would be some who would wish to join any professional course or college such as medical, engineering or architecture. The common needs are easily identifiable and can be met by planning different courses of study. Depending on their needs, students can join any of the courses. The special needs are met in two ways. A, by selecting certain courses for study or by assigning students to various sections or groups. For example, those wishing to join medical college will be studying only science subjects. B, other special needs are cared for by the teacher or counselor. For example, those studying science at +2 are helped in preparing for various science competitive or entrance examinations such as medical or engineering. Meeting demands of our social order. It's difficult to identify many of these demands, and yet some of these are extremely obvious. Our society demands as a minimum that all will be able to read and write their names, read ballot papers, interpret traffic signs, understand oral directions, count money, and to be able to sign. Some societal pressures are more complicated. For example, physicians are expected to continue their study independently in order to keep in touch with latest advances in medical research. Integration of guidance and curriculum. In the light of learning experiences in the classroom, the guidance centers or bureaus, the administrative programs, the extracurricular activities, the home and the community, it becomes obvious that guidance should be an integral part of curriculum. Let us now consider further the rationale for integration between guidance and curriculum. Number 1. Similarity of goals. The focal functioning center in both fields is the students. Curriculum has moved from a subject matter centered approach to a student centered approach. Since the student is with the teacher most of the time in school, an important goal for both fields becomes helping the teacher to help the students to learn, to adjust, and to be competent. Second, similarity of function. Some of the important similarities in function are needs of the whole person. This function is to see that the needs of the whole person, physical, emotional, social, as well as mental, are met. The ongoing active behavior of students in the playgrounds, the extracurricular activities, and the halls, corridors between classes is important to observe. Both the teacher and the guidance counselor should not be content with merely knowledge of the student's background data and with his or her classroom performance. Next one is identification of student needs and problems. If guidance counselor, curriculum specialists, and teachers combine their work using their own particular skills, insights, and specialization, a more successful result will be accomplished in identifying the needs of young people. For the most part, guidance staff has chosen counseling as a way to identify student problems, but too often they keep their knowledge within themselves. Outstanding common problems stated by counselors are failure to achieve according to ability, school course failure in general, broken homes, social adjustment, whereas teachers have mentioned delinquency, absenteeism, and lack of orientation. Do not all of these problems and problem areas call for the cooperation, discussion, and aid of a total faculty group as well as parents? All of these problems have implications for guidance, for curriculum, for work with home and community, and for general group morale in the school. Next, work with same people. Guidance and curriculum staff also have the similar function of working with the same people, students, parents, teachers, and the community. The help of a counselor with curriculum staff and teachers would be invaluable. For example, she could inform them of all the records that are available for their use in the guidance office. She could help the teacher and the students find curricular and work experiences that would give them the necessary background for solving their problems and meeting their needs. Also, there would be occasions when it would prove useful for the guidance counselor and the teacher to meet together in conference with the parents. Next one, similarity in content and educational resource materials. Practically, the whole content of the guidance program has potential as curricular experiences for students. The topics such as vocational and occupational guidance, home and family, health and physical development, getting along with others could be made curricular experiences. Also, the guidance unit usually has a well-established corner in the library and in the guidance office, which provides books and other reading materials that could be used advantageously for curricular purposes in the classroom. The next one is similar methodology and techniques of working with students. Guidance techniques, that's the case study, the interview, anecdotal records, sociometrics, sociodrama, and simple projective techniques such as autobiography, picture projection, and story making are practiced in many classrooms at the present time. Teachers have always carried on interviews and given various kinds of educational and occupational information to students. However, it has been observed that sometimes teachers use their techniques without realizing their full potentialities. The guidance staff can give them a thorough understanding of how to administer, use, and interpret their methods more effectively. Next, let's see similarity in approaches. The remedial and diagnostic approaches have been used in both guidance and curriculum fields, for example, via tests and examinations. The developmental and therapeutic aspects have not been realized to the fullest extent. For example, when a student fails, very few teachers would look for reasons of the failure, especially when the reason is not obvious. No item by item diagnosis is done usually. Both fields have also neglected the full potential of the preventive approach. How many teachers take steps to prevent the problems of students from arising? For example, academic failure, sudden dropping of interest in any curricular activity. Next, let's see the need for co-curricular activities. Every subject offers special opportunities for guidance. Mathematics should develop capacities for precise and logical thinking. Social studies, history, geography, and civics, government should help students make a better adjustment to the changes that are occurring in the world and show them what they can do to resist demoralizing trends. English should make a definite contribution to the development of all of the students' communication skills and to his understanding of himself and others. Physical education offers fine opportunities for guidance in the areas of recreation and health. Home economics or home science should include guidance in health and in present and future family living. Business education or business studies, art, and the various work experience subjects have personal as well as vocational values if the teachers are guidance minded. English. The opportunities for developing values are most obvious in English classes. Short stories, plays, novels, essays, and poems present situations in which motives are revealed, problems solved, decisions made. In English, an important part of guidance while teaching is the study of characters. Why did they behave as they did? What were the consequences of their acts? What similar conflicts may arise in our lives today? Many situations in true to life literature can be used to illuminate the perplexities of today's adolescents and help them develop sound values. Guidance minded teachers believe that this is their most important objective in teaching literature. Literature lives because through its discipline and art, it reflects life. The following composition by a 10th class boy on the kind of person I think I am, the kind of person others think I am, and the kind of person I would like to be illustrates how revealing to the students themselves as well as to the teacher such introspective reports can be. The kind of person I think I am. I like to think that I am the greatest thing on 2 feet, but I know, much to my sorrow, that I am not. In reality, I am just another student in school with usual problems, activities, and the ever-present thoughts about girls. I have a good sense of humor and I get good grades. One of my problems is laziness of the highest degree. But with pressures from my parents, I got almost all the work done. I have a lot of friends of both sexes, but most of the boys I go around with are older than myself, which makes feel that I am mature for my age. Next, what kind of person others think I am? I hope most people think I am okay. I show off too much and at times brag. I am not looked upon as either a leader or a follower, but more or less as in between. I must be thought of as an understanding guy, for at different times people tell me their life stories and problems. I make friends easily, but I have quite a few enemies too. Some people think I'm silly or a nut, the kind of guy automatically dislike unless you know him. Now, the kind of person I want to be. I like myself the way I am, however, I wish I were a little less selfish, for that's my major drawback. The only other thing is that I don't work hard enough. I take the easy way out or just get by. If I could change this, I would be much the better person for it. All in all, I feel that I owe my parents quite a bit and I'm very grateful for all they have done for me. I just hope I grow up into the kind of person they would want me to be. In social studies, students learn how the present grew out of the past and influences the future. It should teach young citizens how to avoid some of the mistakes of the past. Now, social studies. The way social studies is taught in many schools seems to have aroused considerable student resistance. To deal with this problem, the teacher may first encourage the students to express their negative feelings about the course. This shows them that she understands their point of view and wants their ideas about how to make the course more worthwhile and interesting to them. The teachers may then discuss the reasons why the subject is required and why they think it has value for students. Like science, it should teach students to distinguish fact from opinion, unbiased reporting from propaganda. Both subjects should help them to face the uncertainties of the present and at the same time have a commitment to enduring values. Next, mathematics. It's not by chance that a number of great philosophers, Aristotle, for example, were also mathematicians. One may move easily from the logic and discipline involved in solving maths problems to the wonders of a universe which seems to be orderly, predictable, and logical. The teacher can emphasize the place of logic and reason in a man's history, how the language of mathematics transcends race and color, mathematics as a source of fun, as in working out puzzles and problems. In algebra, the teacher can help students see the mathematics is a sign language which man has learned to use over the centuries to facilitate both abstract and practical thinking. Students will also be interested in the role of mathematics today in attempts to conquer outer space. Next, personal and social values of all subjects. Any subject, whether an academic subject, art, music, business studies, education, or home science, is a means to an end. It should contribute to a better life for the individual and for mankind. Students should see each subject in relation to their social and personal development and to the long-range goals of mankind. Now, let's summarize. A school guidance program consists of the coordinated services of the school faculty, including administrators, teachers, professional guidance workers, and other school personnel in cooperation with appropriate community agencies. All of the services are aimed at encouraging individual and group welfare. The relative effectiveness of a school guidance program depends in part on understanding and acceptance by administrators of its functions and goals. Well-trained, experienced, and personally qualified guidance workers, recognition of pupils' guidance needs, parent and community cooperation. An adequately functioning program of guidance services can be established in any school if the staff members are sufficiently interested to develop it. A program that is superimposed by the administration, however, is rarely successful. Guidance programs vary from school system to school system and from school level to school level. School and community leaders differ in their interpretation of the term guidance. There are teachers in large school systems who display an attitude of indifference toward or disapproval of organized guidance, yet who in their relations with their pupils exhibit a commendable attitude toward guidance. These teachers have observed some of the dangers inherent in the misguidance that may result when school people or others attempt to organize an elaborate program of guidance services without understanding the underlying principles of construction and implementation that need to be recognized and applied in establishing a formal program of activities. A school guidance program is concerned in a broad sense with the mental and physical health and personality development of each child with whom the school comes in contact. Guidance is inherent in the total process of education. One of the ultimate goals of guidance is a well-integrated personality. The guidance program should concern itself with the problems of all youth, not just those who are disciplinary problems, failing in classwork, or acute maladjustment cases. It is the purpose of the guidance program to help each individual make the best possible adjustment between the emotional needs and the demands of the society. Therefore, the immediate objective in guidance is to help each pupil meet and solve their problems as they arise. One of the ultimate objectives of all guidance is self-guidance. To achieve such a guidance program demands that we have belief and respect for the dignity and worth of each individual child. Every teacher on the school staff has a responsibility for aiding in the guidance of boys and girls. Every person who accepts responsibility for a share in the guidance program must aid in discovering the needs and problems of each child and help the child in resolving his problems. The guidance program includes both the helping of each child to adjust to an established or required pattern and the adjusting of the pattern to better meet the needs of the individual child.